is Contact about? Well, Contact is a story by Carl Sagan, a scientist. And the story follows a character named Eleanor Arroway. And she is an astronomer, and she works for SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. Now, while she was being an astronomer, working on the radio telescopes, she receives a message from a star called Vega, and it comes in the form of radio wave transmission, and it comes in blips of prime numbers. Now, she decodes it, and it turns out the message is a transmission of, from television, yes. And it's of Adolf Hitler giving his address in the opening of the Berlin Olympics in 1936. Now, the reason this was the transmission is because the Vegans, the people from Vega, they got this transmission, and it was the first one they got. Now, the reason it's the first one is the first earliest signal from Earth that could breach through the atmosphere. Now, anyway, so within the video of Adolf Hitler, they see a message which is really instructions on how to build a massive machine. And this machine can transport 5 people across space. And the story follows that journey. So, have you read the book? Yes, I have read the book. It was a good read, yeah, it was quite intriguing. And it's written in third-person omniscient, so it should be good for all the characters to read. And what do you think of Ellie? Yes, she's a very round character, and she changed a lot from beginning to end. And I think that's because of the whole experience with flying off to the center of the galaxy and meeting highly advanced aliens who almost knew everything. And she also went from being a religious skeptic to kind of going like, ooh, maybe there might be a creator. Yeah, by the end. And she's also telling people to have a leap of faith and stuff. So, yeah. She's very round. And also, she has a lot of determination and a lot of conviction. Like, throughout the beginning of the story, she was very determined to have the machine be built. And she was also modest. She wasn't like, I need to be the person that goes on it. She was modest about it. She was like, I would like to go, but I don't. And she really wanted to go, but she didn't go out and say, I am the only person that can go, so that's what she did. She also has a lot of conviction. And I think the conviction stems from that she does believe in science, but also she believes in logic, which is something I admire. And she also has conviction, again, ties to what she knows is right. Yes. So, who is Ken Duhir in the story? Well, Ken is Ellie's love interest, and they do take up a relationship within the story. But Ken himself is the science advisor to the President of the United States. So, what are some themes in the story? Faith is a big one. Curiosity too. And there's a lot about the differences between us that are so little and insignificant compared to the differences between us and a civilization that is extraterrestrial. Tell me about your character. Well, my character is Palmer Joss, and he is a fundamentalist Christian. And he's one of those priests that, has the talk show on television. Well, anyway, we actually learn about his story in the book, and he got struck by lightning and had an out-of-body experience. And that caused him to have a lot of faith and to cherish life, and that led into his priesthood. Now, how he comes into play in the story is like he opposed the building of the machine, and he was also a skeptic of religion. I mean, he was also a skeptic of science. So that happened, and so he was way in disagreement with Ellie. Now, after Ellie went on the expedition and then she returned to Earth and no one believed her, he took the leap of faith in believing in what she was saying about the trip. Now, what was that leap of faith? There was no evidence of what the 5 people saw in space, so... And the reason for this is because in Earth time, they were only in the capsule for 20 seconds, but in actuality, they met up with the aliens for 18 hours. Now, when they all came back, they had this wonderful experience, and no one believed them. And Ellie made an appeal saying that it was completely true and asking people to actually take a leap of faith, which is ironic because she wasn't a very faithful person, and she didn't believe in something that didn't have evidence, and now here she is asking people to take a leap of faith. Now Palmer saw that she had changed, and he also saw the conviction in her. Now, that made him take the leap of faith and believe in her. So would you say your character has the most conflict with Ellie? I'd say Palmer did have a lot of distaste for Ellie and the message at first, but Ellie also had to deal with other scientists who didn't agree with what she had to say. For instance, people thought the machine would be a doomsday device and didn't want to build it. Also, Ellie has a lot of internal struggles with trying to figure out the universe.
Yes, so this is the beach in which they hallucinate. They're not on an actual beach. It's all a simulation put on by the aliens. And they do this to make the people feel more calm and to make it less stressful for them. As you can see, we could have had any old beach, so I chose this one that's pretty nice. Yeah, and
Hello! So, as you can see, we are at the Great Array, which is where we film part of our film. And it's in New Mexico. So this is where Ellie finds the message that it was received by these huge telescopes. And it is the first contact with extraterrestrial species. See the movie, but read the book.